Well, we are live and on the air and ready to go. Oh gosh, I'm so awkward. Happy Monday, awkward. Happy Monday evening to each and every one of you if you are listening, and Merry Christmas, because Christmas is officially, what is today? Monday. It is the 19th. Christmas is officially 6 days away.
Less than a
And
week, folks.
less than a week. It's craziness to think about that, because, wow, it's just, man, I don't know if I'm ready or not. Jesse, are you ready for Christmas?
I'm ready, man. I think no. I've got like five more gifts I got to buy. So
That's not bad.
That's not too bad. It's the amount of, or the matter of going into some packed place and buying those gifts that probably got me procrastinating it as long as I possibly can.
Amen. I mean, what? It is. Justin, are you ready?
I'm never ready.
Never, ever ready.
Call him the never ready bunny.
Never. Oh, that was so bad. That was so
It was,
bad.
dude. Was it never? Was it ever ready? What was the bunny? Was it Duracell?
That was the Energizer Bunny.
Oh,
What is wrong with you?
Hey, you got the Energizer Bunny and you got the Never Ready Bunny. All right, well, the Never Ready Justin. How's that?
Oh gosh!
Better save this podcast fast, dude.
Already off the rails. Already off the rails. So Christmas. Christmas is a wonderful time of year, and for everybody, well, it should be for everybody. It usually means family time and faith and happiness and love, and it's that time of year where you get together and you eat and you drink and you're merry, and MERRY, you guys.
Oh, I got you.
Okay, just making sure. But it's one of those things. As a kid, you have that wonder and that mysticism and that excitement. Santa Claus is coming, and you can't help but stay up late and wonder what he's going to bring you. If you can hear the hoofs on the roof, and wonder if it's going to be one of those. If it's going to be one of those Christmases where you come down and it's just like, right out of the movies where the train set's running around the tree, and the bike is going to be sitting there or anything like that. That's the cool part about Christmas of being a kid. So as a kid, us being nerds and part of the nerd culture and everything, we had of course a list of stuff that we'd ask Santa for. I mean, I did. I don't know about you, Justin. Did you make out a whole list of stuff that you wanted Santa to bring you? I mean, you don't. Well, hold on.
A list?
Did you write it down? Did you write what you did? And you didn't have to be a nerd to do this, but the nerd part comes in what we asked for. But was it like a Christmas tradition to sit down with pen and paper or pencil and paper and write out your letter or your list to Santa?
Dude, I wrote out a scroll.
Like Santa Claus opens this things up and it rolls down out the window or out the door. It's a long list, huh?
Oh yeah.
Well,
it just keeps going and going and going.
No, back to the bunny.
Back to the bunny. Back to the bunny. Well, I mean, so you sat down and wrote it as a kid?
Yeah, best I could spell. I mean, I'm actually a pretty good speller. I'm a pretty good speller, but even then, toys had those really complex names back then,
Yeah, I can see that.
I mean, some of those characters, just like had these out of the world, out there names, just off the wall.
Is there
fantasy names? And
was there ever anything where you wrote down and like your parents had no clue? They had no idea what it was that you wanted, so they end up trying to buy something that was that thing, but totally screwed it up. Do you remember any of that ever happening?
It still happens today.
I'm sure that there was probably some incident like that, but I mean, not that I can remember. I mean,
Okay.
it was
I
always,
know I'm putting you on the spot. I just thought of this. I thought of this time recently. Now as we'll relate this to gift giving, because this is for my son's birthday. I sent my mom. My mom's like, "Hey, what does Caleb want?" So I sent her a bunch of pictures of some games. Right, game this. Here's Lego this, Lego that. Here's a cool game. Get these games for Caleb to play. Well, what I had mistakenly done was I didn't crop one of the photos, and I left Farming Simulator 2015 on the photo. And that is the one thing out of the other four things, Batman, Arkham City, or she picked Farming Simulator for Caleb.
I remember that.
I said, lesson learned. But anyway, sorry, Ronnie, go ahead.
That's all right. Jesse, writing out your list of Santa, was it a tradition every year? Because I know you wrote to the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and used the great turtle terminology, rad and everything else.
It was totally awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah, I can remember, as a young kid sitting down and, every kid, I think, at least up to a certain age, is writing Santa, letting them know what they want. The thing is that I knew my place. Like, I knew what I could ask for and what I couldn't ask for.
Yeah, I think we all had that.
Yeah. So writing the old Christmas list is as fun as it was. I never got, I was never confident enough to put something on there that I knew that there's no way I would get. Now, when we get into the topic of tonight, these books are chock full of stuff that old Starcher knew that he wasn't going to be able to get.
So at the top of the list, everything, through kids we had, you had toys. You're not going to ask for clothes. Speaking of toys and everything, we've got a special guest with us tonight, and we want to welcome on Aaron. Are you with us right now?
Yeah, I think so, guys. Can you hear me?
Absolutely awesome.
Yep.
I know you're having a few mic issues there for a second, but I'm glad you're on. Dude, we're so happy to have you, and this is a great subject for you, correct?
Yeah, I'm a pretty big fan. Might know a little bit about it.
A little bit, just a little bit. Aaron, what about you? Was it a tradition to sit down and write your list out and to tell Santa what you wanted for Christmas?
Oh yeah, every year we get the Sears and the JCPenney catalog, and
yes,
start turning right to the back of it, trying to find the toys. And, pretty much anything that had a gun or a sword. We circled, I was probably too lazy to write it down. I remember circling a lot of stuff.
Oh yeah, man.
And it was nice because I was pretty lucky. I had an older brother, and whatever I didn't get, he got. So we pretty much ended up with everything.
That's amazing.
That we quickly smashed with hammers or blew up or shot or.
Well,
my collection's my stuff from a childhood.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah, I might have a story that I've told several times on here, but I'll have to relate it back to you that might make you weep a little bit. But so of course we're talking about a child's best friend, their visual aid for Christmas and writing out their list to Santa and everything. We're talking about the wish book. Every year you come out, they would come out with this giant book, this catalog. It's called the wish book. Every since 1933, Spiegel catalog had one. The Christmas catalog, Sears, JCPenney. It was the wish book. And you would open it up and you would skip the first 300 pages because it had all the adult stuff in it. The toys. Yeah, it had the clothes and the old stuff, the old people stuff that you didn't want, right? And you go straight to the back, and there it was. You open it up. You'd maybe have to skip a couple of pages because they always had the kiddie stuff there, the baby stuff, like the PVC pipe, that we were looking at earlier. It was just I don't even know what that was. What was that? It looked like a torture device.
I didn't catch the name of it, but it definitely was just straight up colored PVC cashing in on the, like, I don't know, I assume the Lego craze or something. Like, here's some Legos for bigger Legos for you kids to play with. Crazy looking stuff, but you can build anything you wanted with it.
Technic Advance.
There you go.
Man.
Technic on a larger scale, huh?
So you would go through and just Aaron, I was just like you. I mean, I wouldn't write it out like on the page or anything, but I would go through and I would circle everything, well, almost everything. So I would open it up, we'd look through it, and it was just, as a kid, I remember these things being set up so intricately and so amazingly. You know, they have the battle scenes or the what's the word? It looked like a diorama, basically. Yeah, it was amazing. So I, as a child, would always go, as a kid, I was a huge He-Man fan. So that was the first one I would hit. I would hit the He-Man figures, and I would look through it, and I would see which ones I didn't have or which ones I really wanted. Maybe I'd, strapped a firecracker to and maybe needed another one. Pardon me. So I would hit the He-Man first. Aaron, what was the first one you would hit?
Being born right there in 77, I would have to go to Star Wars first.
Yeah. Okay.
But then, 81, 82, the G.I. Joe, and being a military family, it kind of crept up real quick as being the favorite. So like I said, anything with guns or swords, I was pretty much down for. I could sit here and I could just start rolling them all out. I mean,
oh, dude, Jesse, what was what were you going to say, Jesse?
I was just going to say, Aaron, you're involved in a Facebook website that primarily deals in toys, correct?
I probably should have gone there.
Hey, I got your back, Ronnie.
Thank you.
I help facilitate a group. I try not to do too much selling and trading openly on it. A lot of guys sell and trade, through private messages, but basically, just information, helping people find stuff out. Anywhere I can go to find something, I'll help anyone.
So you see, you see a ton of stuff roll through that. I mean, myself I got added to the group, I think it was over a year or two ago. And I have shared that with a lot of people because so many people post some stuff that I haven't seen in such a long time. A lot of the stuff we may see here when we get into these wish books.
Yeah.
But, it's so fun to sit there and have something pop up on my feed where somebody's trying to figure out what figure this is, or where, here's my collection. Just a lot of cool stuff. So you say you like the G.I. Joes, because I see you do I see every once in a while you do some custom figures also, right?
Yeah, I'm actually working on 2 right now. I don't call them commissioned, but I do them for people, when I know that they like a certain figure. And the way I buy collections, I end up with a lot of broken figures. So I love the hobby. It's afforded me to meet so many people and go so many places.
Very cool.
I just like to give back. And right now I'm working on a Colossus Juggernaut in the Marvel Legends scale.
Oh, that's nice. Awesome.
And I'm also working on another Punisher figure.
Mm-hmm.
You can never have enough Punishers. I mean, they're pretty easy to do, but this one looks a little more jacked up, like he's on roids. But it's. I guess I really like the Punisher. The whole lone gunman can still make a difference. Kind of like the Wild West.
Oh yeah.
Well, we would like to introduce you to Street Level Starch. He
Street
is
Level Starch.
Yeah, Jesse. He is a major Punisher fan.
Oh yeah.
So he likes the street level characters.
Absolutely. Dave's All American Toys and Comics, right?
Yes.
That's the Facebook group.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Okay.
Dave's All American Toys and Comics. So we're so happy to have you on, and that's why we brought you on, because we know you know your stuff. Yeah, thank you.
A little bit.
Yeah. Oh, come on now. So we, man, okay. I'm just going to go ahead. I'm going to break the silence on this once again. Like I said, if my mom ever heard this, she'd probably break down in tears now. But okay, and I had, all these Star Wars figures from the original movies because my mother introduced me to Star Wars, and that's, I blame my, my nerddom on my mother, which I embrace proudly because, that's, I love every, Star Wars, G.I. Joe, and, the comic books, all that stuff. But I had, I'm a huge Star Wars fan, and they would just buy me all this, Star Wars. I had the Hoth play set. I had the Ewoks tree set, which was later commissioned into the Prince of Thieves. Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves tree house, which I blatantly looked at and said, that's bullcrap. That's the Ewoks, play set.
Real quick, the Kenner, they also ripped off the Gamma Ran Guard for Friar Tuck.
Yeah, they did. Absolutely. And they did a lot of DC Batman figures. I think Green Arrow was actually the body type was used for Robin Hood.
Yeah, I think so.
But they Kenner, they kind of got an F on that. But I had all the old Kenner figures, and I had the X-wing and everything. And so after a while, as you're a kid, you stop playing with these things because you get other toys, you get newer toys, and they slowly start collecting dust. And my mother looked at it and said, "Hey, these are slowly collecting dust. We need to get more room in his stuff." So she looked at my dad and said, "You know what? We just need to get rid of these." They threw them away.
Gosh.
So,
they could have just told you to go out there and break them.
Right. Or fire to them, or
we're gonna watch you do it.
And it's like, go pick your own Switch. But anyway, so they threw them away, and I came home one day and I said, "Hey, where are my Star Wars toys?" And they said, "Oh, well, my dad and my mom feeling guilty about throwing my toys away." My dad looks at me and says, "Well, we gave them to another kid so they'd play with them." I was like, I'm like, okay, that hurts that they're gone, but some other kids enjoying them. Being racked with guilt over the years, my dad finally looked at me. I was talking about some kid playing with my Star Wars toys. They were worth money. He said, "Son, I have to tell you something. We actually just threw them away. I threw them over a bank, a hillside, and they just kind of sitting there." To which I replied, "Well, get a shovel. We're going out there." And he didn't take me seriously, and I was very serious because I would have dug up the entire state of West Virginia to find those things. So I lost all of my Star Wars toys minus one original Boba Fett that's floating around here somewhere in my house to a bankside in West Virginia, which I to this day still, and my mom would cry. She was like, "I can't believe I did that. I can't believe I threw away all those toys," because I'm a big Star Wars fan. So that's my sad story there. So
some nerd out there is going to be hunting. His dad's going to drag him on a hunting trip. He's not going to want to hunt, but then he's just all of a sudden going to trip and fall upon this, this Star Wars cache,
Holy Grail,
the Holy Grail. You wouldn't believe what I found when I was hunting.
And at that point, I have all the faith in the world that it will be shared to my Facebook feed or something, and I will hunt him down, and I will want all of my Star Wars toys back.
Oh, it's wonderful.
So, but anyway, that's so. Anything with a gun or a sword, Jesse. Where was the first place you would go?
G.I. Joe's most likely.
G.I. Joe's.
I mean, if I could find the toys I would always peruse everything because I was always afraid there was going to be something that I missed that was like absolutely wonderful, cool. But of course, they would always pair everything together. Something's going to go with this. It's not going to. But that's usually where I would go. It was usually the G.I. Joes. As a kid growing up, that was the one thing I couldn't. I didn't have the patience to get into something else and try and learn it, even though I loved all these different franchises.
Yeah.
Like we were talking about Ghostbusters, Thundercats, Transformers. Oh, man. I don't think I ever even, I said, start your new where his, that what he could get and what he couldn't get. Transformers, Transformers were off the list.
Yeah,
That was not happening.
Yeah,
So,
GoBots, huh?
Yes. I can remember opening up a Christmas present with a GoBot in the apartment with my mom and putting on a fake smile and say, yeah, this is great. And do my, my 4 points of articulation and transform it into some kind of stupid car and then throw it out the window. But,
the best was the leader, the jet. I can't remember his name, but
Leader one.
Leader one. Yeah, why would I remember Leader one? Oh my gosh.
And Psykill.
Oh, it was terrible.
Scooter.
Scooter.
There was a Scooter?
That was the bad guy?
That was a good guy.
He was a good guy. Psykill was the motorcycle bad guy.
Psykill, yeah. I don't think they would name their version of Megatron Scooter. So
the helicopter was actually named Cop Tour.
I go back and I look at all my He-Man stuff because I was a big He-Man, after the Star Wars phase, I was a big He-Man junkie. I loved that stuff. But you go back and you look at it, and it was like everything ended with ore, skunk ore, or man, He-Man, stink ore, leech ore, Skeletor, and then Grizzlor, thank you, or Beastman, He-Man, Man at Arms, the
Ram Man.
No, he was the best figure of all. He had 2 points of articulation and springy legs.
It's the worst toy ever, man. I got one of those in an auction, and I almost just felt like asking for my money back. It's like, what is? Please, just give this to somebody else.
Yeah, I mean, if you didn't throw, like I've said before, if you did not throw that toy at the wall, you were playing with it wrong. So, Justin, where was the first place you would go in these amazing catalogs?
Oh, anything with monsters.
Oh, I knew that was coming.
Oh man,
anything it was scary, frightening, just beastly. I mean, He-Man, Thundercats, you name it, anything that was monstrous.
I'm gonna jump in here. 1988, almost crapped my pants. I was almost done with toys, and the humanoids hit.
Oh yes,
yeah. And those things were amazing.
Yes, they were. They were. I mean,
my first one was oh shoot, what was that one? My first one was Decompose.
That was the name of it? Decompose?
Oh, yeah.
Huh.
Okay.
He was the zombie one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
So while you guys are talking, I'll see what I can do. Yeah. I just hopped into the 1988 wish book just to see.
1988, yes.
Yeah, just to see.
It was the year they came out. I don't know if it made it into that one or if it would have been in 87, but
I think it was 87 we were looking at earlier.
I know we're staring at some major Duplo right now.
I'm looking.
Oh, remote control cars. I drove these down the steps on Christmas Eve every year.
First thing right off the bat, broke.
Oh, yeah. I took many of beatings over that.
Micro machines.
Some micro machines.
Man. I remember being a kid and that commercial bothering the heck out of me.
I bet your stepdad stepped on all of those, Jesse, didn't he?
Micro machines. I didn't have a whole lot of the micro machines. That was one thing I didn't get. I didn't get into. And Matchbox cars or the Hot Wheels, not my thing.
I had Hot Wheels. Hot Wheels. Plenty.
I've skipped all over the toys here. I'm getting into guns and stuff. Like the guns were like right beside the toys, if I remember right.
Oh,
well, yeah.
Heck, and of all the things Jesse missed out on was the comics.
Well, here you go.
Of all things, huh, Jesse?
Nintendo, the video games. As you get older as a kid, you would want, you'd look through the video games. Yeah.
The Sega Scope 3D system takes you there. 3D?
Yep.
3D
glasses.
It had 3D glasses on it. Yep.
What?
I remember that. I was a Nintendo advocate as a kid, so that was like, no, I don't want that. I ain't messing with no Sega stuff. So, I mean, I was serious, dude. I was a Nintendo freak.
I saw the very first starting lineups creeping across the bottom there.
Let's see where we at. Did I pass them?
Maybe. I mean, they're not super collectible, but I remember when they came out the first year.
Yep. And how disappointed you were that they weren't a toy.
Yeah.
There we go.
Here's some real Ghostbusters.
That's season. That's not season. That's series 2.
Okay.
Hey, Justin, settle down. But so we've got all these toys, and we're loaded up. You know, here in 19. I think this is 88. You said. What are we looking at here?
Oh,
real
sorry,
Ghostbusters. That's all right.
Yeah, I popped up. Here's some. Watch out, Cobra. G.I. Joe can fight you anywhere with these awesome combat vehicles.
Okay, so 1988. Let's take a look at something because we were looking at 1985 or 86 mostly. So we've got some of the more intricate vehicles as we go along because, you know, when they were first introduced in 83, 84, you know, somewhere in through there, they weren't the most, you know, G.I. Joe were the more articulated, you know, had the more points of articulation, the rubber band that always broke if you played with them too hard.
Oh, yeah. I got a box full of crotches upstairs.
Yeah, because they would break. Well, we need to. I don't know if we need to call the cops or.
You can't say that anymore. I mean, that's. I
So we look at this and we see some really cool vehicles. This was when they were starting to went off the rails a little bit, but let's take a look at it. There's G.I. Joe vehicles. Let's say number 18 was the Lightning Fast, the G.I. Joe Stealth Fighter. $25.99 for this. It shot missiles. It had everything going for it in the world right now. You could fit 2 or 3 figures in it, I'm sure. This was $25.99.
I'm gonna scroll down here just real quick to see what
You
we
go
have
right
here.
ahead.
We got the 16 and 17. I wish we had a zoom. I don't unfortunately think I have a zoom on this website.
Don't
but
think so. Yeah.
6 packs, 16 and 17. You can't see who they are. I think one of them's Road Pig.
Probably.
Fairly certain.
Yeah, but formidable forces. What were you saying, Aaron?
It looks like on the top you have Ambush on the far right, maybe Avalanche in the center. Hardball's definitely next to the end on the left. Down on the bottom you have definitely Road Pig, and then it looks like a Hydra Viper next to the end on the right. And I think that's a Range Viper right there.
Right here?
Yeah, well, to the left one. I think that's it kind of has like the skull face.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and that might even be a Techno Viper on the far right.
Does anything stand out here on this page? You were like, you had, because you said this was about the time when you were getting out.
Yeah,
you were done.
This was the year I started paying attention to sports.
Okay.
And they started getting a little too sci-fi for me because I just like my soldiers. What I do love is the Saddam Hussein Scud launching Rolling Thunder, number 19.
Yeah.
Yep. So we look at these, and these were incredible vehicles. These were amazing toys. Yeah, and that's what they were. They were toys. Now, adjusting for inflation and everything else, these things were $25.99. But now, a stealth fighter that carried, several different, several different characters, several different figures in it, would cost probably $50 to $60.
I haven't bought anything brand new for Caleb when it comes to like vehicles or things like that. So I really don't know the what they're running for nowadays, like big G.I. Joe vehicles, or most of everything's superheroes now. It's all superheroes. And I don't know. Go ahead, Justin.
I was gonna say also there's Marvel Legends. Geez.
Yeah. Okay. So you've got a 6-pack of good guys and bad guys.
I missed
6-pack. Yeah, that's what the formidable forces were. 16 and 17, the ones you were naming off.
So you get
6 of them for $19.99.
6 packs of
6.
So you get 6 of them?
A pack of 6. It was $19.99.
Oh, okay, $20.
$20, which is a darn good price because one figure now costs $20.
Well, for a G.I. Joe, Depends on how well they're made. Aaron, you probably know better.
Yeah, I think the 2-packs right now that Toys R Us has, they're comparable to the Marvel U figures, the 3 3/4.
Uh-huh.
But I think they're running about $20 for a 2-pack. So you're looking at about $10 a piece.
$10 a
Yeah.
piece.
They're nice figures. They're pretty true to the originals.
Uh-huh.
But what was cool about that 16 and 17 there, the 6-packs, is you would get them. They'd be in a box, and they would look like mail-away figures if you guys never got them.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't have the full file card. I mean, the card back.
Oh, okay.
It would be on a red, like a red card that had the file card on the back with the blister pack. And what was neat is I have a buddy. He got hold of me. It was actually last week, and he said, "Have you ever seen this before? You know what it is?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "Where'd you get that?" He had the original 82 Snake Eyes from one of those 6-packs.
No.
Oh, what?
Yeah, I was like, that came from Sears or JCPenney's in a multi-pack.
Yeah, dude. Wow.
I think my first experience with mail-away characters was the Mum-Ra.
Yeah, okay.
Was
For Thundercats, yeah.
the old mummified Mum-Ra.
There's
My
your starting lineups, by the way.
Yeah, there they are.
My first mail-away character was the fridge.
Did you
Yeah,
get the
Joe.
fridge?
I got the fridge.
Nice. I thought I found a Sergeant Slaughter in an auction around here, and I was all psyched up thinking, oh, you can only mail away from him. That is not the case.
No, sir. No,
Did
sir.
a little bit of research on that one and found out that it was I think it was one of the ones that it wasn't mail away. I know that much.
Aaron, did you say Mr. T?
No, but they should have made a Mr. T.
Oh, they should have definitely made it.
The first mail-away Sergeant Slaughter had the USA down the side of his pants.
Yes.
And then after that, he came with the Triple T tank, and he had the camouflage pants and the black tank top.
Yes, sir. That's the one I had. So.
I was gonna say they had some G.I. Joe-esque A-Team figures.
Oh yeah.
Back when I was little.
Yeah, they did. So
Duluth made them.
I had them.
Dude, man, I bow to both of you right now in your toy knowledge. I mean, it's incredible.
I missed out on the 4-pack unopened at Rogers' sale last fall. The guy got to the table about 5 minutes before me, bought the whole thing for $35.
No.
Yeah.
Man.
Oh man.
Yeah. If you like this stuff, Rogers' sale is
Willow.
and Cops and Crooks.
Oh wow. Yes. Cops and Crook. I'm sorry. I had a whole thing planned for this, but now looking at this, I'm just like a kid again.
Oh, Ronnie, am I going off script? I'll stop.
No, I don't. Right now, I don't give a crap because we're looking at all this. But okay, so basically, that's kind of what I want to do. Anyways, look at all this stuff and compare the prices from now to today. What was your favorite thing to go to? But I mean, looking at Willow, I had some of the Willow figures. I definitely had some of the Cops figures. But I look at this stuff, minus some of the G.I. Joe, minus some of the superhero figures. They just don't make toys like they used to, man. They just don't make toys because that was the big thing. You would sit down, you'd get down on the floor with this catalog. You'd open it up with your pen and your pencil, and you would circle it, or you'd write down, or you would put a star beside of it. That was one of the coolest parts of Christmas because you would wait for this giant magazine, or this giant catalog, I should say, to come out. And you would see all this stuff, and you would instantly start making that mental list.
Did you notice? Did you notice
at the bottom of that page?
Transformers?
Oh.
Yeah, they're on the bottom of the Ghostbusters page.
Let me go back.
I'll say, did you notice that basically around this time and era they were starting to get away from the fantasy?
Mm-hmm.
Look at those Transformers. Okay, so we got
Pretenders,
Motor Masters.
Yep.
Now, Ronnie, was this something that you collected, dude?
I did have some Transformers. Now, I was kind of in the starch wagon with that. Some of them you could ask for, some of them you couldn't.
Yeah, you
but
wasn't getting Optimus Prime or anything. I just knew there was no hope.
Well, there was some hope. You had to sacrifice some things, to get the bigger Transformers. Because I had Optimus Prime, I did have oh shucks, what is his name that tried to open the matrix of leadership but couldn't?
Rodimus?
No, that couldn't.
Couldn't.
Robert Stack did his voice in the movie.
Ultra Magnus.
Ultra Magnus. I did have Ultra Magnus, but you had the white Optimus Prime figure.
Mm-hmm.
You would just build around him. So you had the ghost of Optimus Prime is what I used him for as well, because we all know the fate of Optimus Prime after the first movie. But so I had Ultra Magnus, and I had a bunch. I had my fair share of them. I had some Insecticons and things like that. But I was really into, the Ghostbusters, the G.I. Joe and the He-Man, because I think those were a little more affordable on my end, and you could buy more of them and say, hey, we got you 3 gifts, 3 G.I. Joe figures instead of just one or, Transformer. So, and I get that. And that's where, I was kind of like Aaron, swords and guns and things like that. I was all about. So it was that's mostly what I circled in these magazines. And also I can't be hopefully I'm not the only kid. I really wanted some of the backgrounds that they had on these, like the diorama, the setups. I wanted the rock formations and the craziness going on, because I was like, man, I could make some epic battles on this. So,
or you could just be like me, dig a hole in the garden, put the Rancor monster in the hole in the garden, and have a tunnel that led to the hole.
There you go.
Have like the whole, make your own trap door kind of deal.
These few pages are broken here. I'm going to hop back to 1985.
Okay.
Listening to you guys, it sounds like we're pretty much the same age.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
You guys are talking about the dioramas. Do you remember around Christmas where the stores would actually put out the toy displays in the plexiglass cases?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
It takes some time, and they were amazing.
That was my dream job as a child.
Voltron.
Oh, see, I would collect Voltron now.
Oh my guys, I had the opportunity to go over to a friend's house. I think I told you guys about this. One of the things he was collecting, it was something like Voltron, but it was something. It was called something different. Is there an anime show? Just say it again.
Was it the Godikins?
I don't remember him saying that.
They were made by Bandai, and like the Voltron was called Go Lion, and the vehicle Voltron was called Die Ruger, and it had just tons of stuff.
Yeah, I don't recall being that.
Robotech at the time.
Uh-huh.
And then there was Dugram, which is kind of like Robotech.
Guy King.
Yeah, and there was the Shogun Warriors too, but they were older.
That's what I'm talking about. Shogun Warriors.
That's
That's what he had. He had one of those. He was trying to. I think it was all put together. I don't know where he got it from, but I could tell it was older. And
Godzilla's Shogun Warrior.
Yep, and Rodan.
Nice.
I think they were importing those in the States from 75 to 79.
Once again, I bow.
I got mine at a yard sale, and of course, he was missing his hand.
That's exactly what he was telling me. He was like, it's missing something that it would shoot out. And I was like, okay, well, this is beyond me, but it looks damn cool.
Omega Supreme and the Dinobots.
Yeah, this is 85, by the way. We're in the 85 Sears Wish book.
As much as I wanted them, I can remember not ever having any of the Dinobots.
My favorite one right there, Soundwave.
I didn't have Soundwave, but I definitely had his counterpart.
Blaster.
Blaster.
You spoke jive.
Yeah, those cartoons. Yeah, those cartoons were definitely not. They wouldn't pass today. Let's put it that way. So
him and Jazz could hang out, huh?
Oh,
yeah.
I think Scatman Carruthers voiced Jazz. If you scroll up there real quick on what you were just at,
Astro Train.
Omega Supreme is what finished me off on Transformers.
Really?
Yeah.
Let's take a look at our price range here.
Yep.
A Mega Super. Well, that ain't too bad. $40. $40. Of course, I mean we're talking 85 here. So
yeah, but that would be like $100 nowadays, man.
Every Christmas I got one big Transformer, and I had that thing, and I loved it. It was so awesome. And I've got a retaining wall in front of my parents' house, and the neighbor turned on the tank and drove it over the edge.
No!
He busted both his leg hinges. I was done. I just walked away. I was like, I'm done with Transformers.
Oh.
I might have cried.
I know I probably would have.
I'm crying now.
Is that mask over there, Jess?
Where at? Tell me where to go.
To the right, mask.
To the
I
right.
think I see the base.
Yes, that's all the GoBots.
Okay, on the right here. This.
That's
No,
GoBots.
That's definitely
That's
the
GoBots. Yeah, because they had that really stupid looking base.
Well, yes, that guy just looks formidable. It's like
That puzzle is actually a pretty decent combiner. I have two of them.
Oh.
And it's all self-contained. It's not like the early Transformers combiners.
Yeah.
It's all self-contained and it's die-cast. They've got him in some stupid position right there. That's not what he looks like.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say if he's stuck like that. That's
He's
just
getting
like,
ready to do
come
the
on.
Karate Kid crane kick.
Right. So,
Oh man.
And who didn't have that gun too? I mean, I had that
Oh, you're right, dude. I remember seeing that gun.
with the caps.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, yep. So I do have to ask one question though. So as you're going through circling all of your stuff, oh, you hit it. I was gonna say, what was your one?
That's it.
That what was your holy grail? And you automatically go to it. Listeners, while you're looking at it, this was the one I wanted. Every year I would circle this, but that one year I would circle this, and I've wanted it ever since.
What is it called? USS Flag? Is that what
The
it was?
USS Flag. It was
Okay.
the G.I. Joe. It was the battleship. It was you could launch your plane. You could launch the Sky Striker off of it. You could make the Cobra Rattler dive bomb it. It carried so many. This was the holy grail for me.
I'll tell you right
this
now.
It's not a joke. I've got one laying over there beside me. It's huge.
Oh,
Isn't
I
there one
remember-
for sale on the site?
No, not yet.
I remember going to a buddy's house who had this, and his parents had bought it for him. And I don't know if he still has it today, but I can tell you at least more than 5 years ago, I sent him Facebook messages. I said, "Look, dude, I know you aren't. He is not a toy collector. Okay, he would get these things. His parents would buy these things to just." For maybe 3 or 4 months he'd play with it and he wouldn't do anything with it, and the guy's off doing something in New York. This stuff is sitting back at his house and just gathering dust, and it's not like he doesn't have the respect like us people do for these toys. He doesn't have, and I say respect, he doesn't have the he doesn't like them as much as we do. So anyway, I sent him a message, said, "Dude, you interested in selling these things?" Because he had that. And if you knew a person that had the Flag, or his mom bought the Flag, you knew that he bought, or his parents bought him just about anything else he wanted when it came to G.I. Joe. He had probably hundreds of figures.
How many shipwrecks are there on that pit?
Well, you had to have the shipwrecks on there, so it looked like you were in the Navy.
Yes, yes.
So.
But
what was you saying?
Go ahead.
Quick Kick's doing the YMCA down there on the deck.
He is. So, I mean, gosh, there's like 1, 2, 3, 4.
There's 6, 7, 8. 9. Yeah, there is 9. There's 9 shipwrecks there.
9 shipwrecks. Wow, that is a lot of shipwrecks on there. The shipwreck had the stereotypical Navy outfit. He had the little white hat and the
Tomax and Zaymont.
His tanks. Oh man!
To the right, we have Return of Jedi next to the mask stuff.
All
right.
Okay, Ronnie, you said what was the Holy Grail? So me and you both, are we both in agreement it's USS Flag for us?
For us, yes.
Okay,
Aaron, what was your Holy Grail?
Are we talking G.I. Joe or just in general?
In general.
The Clash of the Titans Kraken.
Oh, see, yes.
I know I've seen that before.
I never got it as a kid. My grandpa actually brought it home from Kmart one time, and my grandparents didn't have a lot of money. My mom was like, absolutely not, take it back. So there it went, and it took me until I was about 36 before I finally got one.
Oh, man.
I'm just going to go ahead and see if we can pull one up here real quick.
You go right ahead, my friend.
That's what we're talking about right here.
Yep.
Yeah, I have never seen that, so I'm mistaken. I was mistaken.
Come to the house sometime. Look in the museum.
Yep.
Release the Kraken.
Justin, what was your holy grail?
The Eternia playset.
Oh, see.
Never had it.
Yeah. See, I had Castle Grayskull, and I had Snake Mountain, and I had
Fright Zone.
Fright Zone. Because, like I said, He-Man, He-Man and G.I. Joe were my jam. So I never got the Eternia playset because I, as a kid, thought that looked ridiculous.
It does, dude. I mean, we got all sorts of crap going on over here. We got a prison over here on the left-hand side, it looks like. And
That's
what's
the
going
tower,
on? What's in the middle? Is the Tower of Grayskull?
Yeah, to the left.
Okay, and what do we got going on over here on the right? That's Snake Mountain something or other?
I think so.
Yeah, and then the zip line.
And then you got Jitsu hanging out there.
That's a zip line. Why would you have a zip line?
This is the only transportation that they could come up with in Eternia, apparently. It's like, hey, how about cars? No,
there's a zip line. But you had a little cart right next to it that, with the guns or whatever on it. And then as a kid, I was like, no, this is stupid.
Then they had to have, I was gonna say they had to pick the 4 cheesiest characters to put in this picture. Orko, Mechaneck, Rayman, and Prince Adam. Really?
Listen, I don't want to hear any disparagement against Rayman for the rest of this podcast. Because you could pick him up and just chuck him against that playset, and you were playing with him right.
Nice.
So, and if you were going to have He-Man, you might as well go ahead and get Prince Adam because they were on the same figure. You just different, paint scheme of different clothing, but it was, these toys, man. Gosh, this has taken me back.
I'll tell you,
this is much needed nostalgic therapy for me.
I'll tell you, Aaron saying Kmart took me back to.
Yeah,
back when Kmart was good.
Our Kmart just went out of business here.
Oh,
did it really?
Yeah.
I think ours is hanging on for dear life. At least, I mean, that's all you've been hearing about. For the longest time, I've been hearing about Sears closing, which I don't know if that's happening around here or not, but I know
not yet.
Not yet.
Hey, Aaron, where was the toys at in the 80s?
Hills, man. That's where the
Hills.
Yeah, buddy.
Perfect.
Yeah, but I mean, there was also Hex and Hearts.
Yes. Yeah. Gosh, I remember Hex. Did anybody else have an Ames?
And Ranks.
I did not have names up here, I don't think.
I got my Ruby and Ranks.
So
Ames,
we had
an
an
Ames. New Martinsville.
Yeah.
Was there?
Yeah, Ames was New Martinsville, and they also had a Big Wheel.
I never heard of that.
I remember the Inspector Gadget toy that we're seeing on the screen right now. And the Inspector Gadget toy, because he had the helicopter, the Go-Go Gadget legs, Go-Go Gadget copter, all this other stuff. And I remember seeing it as a kid going, where's his gun? I mean, he's an inspector, so he should have a gun. So what good is a mallet going to do him? He's just going to get shot. I mean, maybe I should have relaxed on the G.I. Joe a little bit. But so, you had oh, man, you got the DC superheroes.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
Superpowers.
Yeah, that's where I was going with the superpowers.
Meanwhile, at the Hall of Justice.
Meanwhile. So the superpowers were Kenner as well. So they were recommissioned into. I mean, they really did not put anything into that Prince of Thieves line of toys. They were just like, just repaint some stuff and go for it. So oh gosh, I'm tongue tied right now because I remember I had this catalog. I had this exact catalog.
I always
because
wanted one of those.
I remember that goofy robot.
Yeah.
So, guys, this I mean, if you could, I mean, we got our holy grails.
Robotics,
Yeah,
man, and Zoids.
Zoids. Yeah. What was the one? Okay, we know what our holy grails are, and Aaron, you actually have them all, and
I'm missing a couple.
Missing a couple.
I just got a line on a Fortress Maximus with a box today.
Oh,
dude. I'll say go to his site and you'll see his whole collection.
Absolutely, yes, we will definitely get in there. What was that one Christmas you remember waking up and seeing, everything that you could possibly wish for, the best Christmas present that you could possibly remember being under the tree when you woke up that morning?
That's a tough one. You asking Aaron first, right?
Aaron,
it gives me time
first.
to think.
Yeah.
It gives me time to think. Put the guest on the spot.
Yeah.
I probably 1981, 80, 81, the Millennium Falcon, because, to this day, that's still pretty much my favorite toy ever. Hey, real quick, I was talking about the Godikins.
Yeah.
See if you can read what 25 and 24 are. 24, 25, 26. I think that's Vanguard Ace and stuff from the Godikin line.
Wow. Man, he's got an eye.
So we're looking on the page I'm on right now.
Yep.
These are Transformers, I think.
On the right-hand side.
Oh, top right.
Okay, gotcha.
Like
I can read it to you here. Okay, here we go. 24, it says, 22 through 24, chronoforms from the land of the originators and evil terminators.
Huh.
We got 24 is the multi-force robot can become 14 vehicles with stainless steel wheels for 6 years and up. They didn't go with, it didn't seem like they got, 25 is the machine dolphin, which,
Jetfire, the Robotech ripoff.
And then a Bega converts into 3 highly, I've never heard of these things in my life.
Yeah.
You heard any of those, Aaron?
Yeah, it's been a long. I'm actually pulling it up right now because I'm like, you know what? These are something I'm going to have to chase down and spend some money on. Tell me how to spell that, please.
Chronoforms is spelled Kronoforms. Kronoforms. Chronoforms. From the land of the originators. Is this a TV show or something? Because Justin Thomas, you would probably know if it was some type of cartoon.
Chronoforms?
Yeah, ever heard of that?
Can't say I have.
Well, we've got a mystery.
We do.
This is something I'm going to have to waste money on. That's
Well, Aaron, we expect updates.
Yes, sir. I'll be watching the website or the Facebook site.
Some of these, I'm looking at them online.
Mm-hmm.
Some of these things are knockoffs of Diaclones.
Okay.
Which the original Transformers were.
I say okay like I actually know.
Well, the Transformers in Japan before they were Transformers were called Diaclones.
Okay.
And then these some of these are rip-offs of the Shigogan and Solo Shigogan toys from Japan.
Okay.
Interesting.
This is something I'm going to have to start looking for.
This is really bringing me back to. I mean, I used to have the Insecticons.
Oh, really?
Oh man, I miss having those.
I've got that. Yeah, those man.
Well, it's
and the Voltron.
So what we've everybody's getting away from that one question. What was your probably one of your favorite gifts on Christmas morning? Did you say, Aaron?
The Millennium Falcon.
Millennium Falcon, very good. Justin. Oh, go ahead, Aaron. I'm sorry.
Well, no, it's just like turn around. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I have 7 just in the room I'm in right now.
Dude.
All right, pal. Listen, I got all my
7?
stuff thrown away, and you have 7 of them.
I have to know why. I mean, you're going to flip them or something, or are you just have some kind of unhealthy thing where it's got to be all Millennium Falcons all the time?
I'm sorry,
There's
sir.
like 5 that are in different original boxes.
Wow.
Man.
I have 1.
Okay, not unhealthy. You take that back.
I do take
not
that
unhealthy.
Back. It isn't.
And second of all, I'm super jealous.
Yes.
And so Millennium Falcon. Justin, what was yours?
Hands down, Castle Grayskull.
Castle Grayskull. Jesse.
Wow. I would probably, and unfortunately I have a very, very terrible memory, but my guess would be it'd have to be something to do with video games. It would not be a toy. Am I allowed to go that route?
Yeah,
Am I allowed
absolutely.
to say something like for Nintendo? Because
it was the Power Glove, wasn't
it? Can I quote it? It's just so bad.
No, never say that again.
Never owned a Power Glove. There were a lot of accessories that I wanted to get my hands on, but man, I would have to say it's got to. Oh no, I remember it was the Sega Genesis.
Oh, you're kidding me!
I got the Sega Genesis. I talked Mom into getting the Sega Genesis for me. It was around Christmas time. It was, I think, an early Christmas present. I was like, "Come on, please!" And we went to Hearts. I'm fairly certain we went to Hearts, which has been shut down for years now, since like I think mid-90s they shut down.
Yeah.
But I talked Mom into going into Hearts, and she picked up a Sega Genesis, straight with the Sonic the Hedgehog, not for resale cartridge that came with it. And I can remember playing the crap out of that. And then from there on out, I think if anything was going to be on my list, it was going to be a Sega Genesis game. Joe Montana Sports Talk Football 2.
Wow.
Yeah, dude. Trust me. I think I followed that series of football games all the way up through when my buddy just tagged me in a primetime, the primetime '96 game, because he just hooked up his Genesis. I kid you not, tonight he hooked his Genesis up and he's like, "Where are you at, man?" I'm like, "Dude." But I followed that series of sports talk football and all the way up to prime time, all the way up through college. So, and I think every Christmas I was asking for one. So I'm going video games.
Okay.
I see Aaron posted his call to arms here about those robots.
Good man.
Yeah, that website or that Facebook site is so
incredible.
helpful.
Yeah, it's incredible. I find myself a lot of times just getting very angry at it and saying, I want all of this. Yeah.
I used to have that. There you go, Justin. There's some He-Man for you.
There's the Fright Zone, because I had that.
In the land shirt.
Check out that shirt.
I know. I would rock that to this day. I think mine was the Christmas morning I woke up. I had the Sky Striker from G.I. Joe, their jet, and nice. I think I had the Rattler too. Both put together, waiting for me to pick up and play with, ready to go on Christmas morning. And so I got 2 jets and a bunch of G.I. Joe stuff. I remember that really, really, really vividly, because I remember going out the back door for some reason, because it snowed that Christmas morning. And, I was playing with my jets, and it was just a fun time. And I walk out the back door, and the boxes were laying outside.
Hey, look, it's the Pine Send the Beast Man.
And the Moss Man? Yeah.
And the Stinky Merman.
Oh, Lord. So I remember looking at it going, oh, the boxes to this are, to my toys are laying out here. I turned around and said, Mom, why would Santa leave the boxes to all my toys laying around? She goes, he's really messy. And I was like, oh, yeah, so Santa's messy. Okay. Cool deal. Let's go play with some toys.
Yeah.
And so it was, man, I had a bunch of these He-Man vehicles. I was a spoiled little brat, on some of this stuff.
What is 17 about? What in the world is battle armor? Yeah. What is it? Bashosaurus?
Yeah, because as you rolled it, that thing would the large.
No, it would
17. We're looking at 17.
You put it, lock it in place, and then there was a button right behind He-Man there that would set that loose and bash stuff.
No, I was going to say, as you rolled it, you could push the button, and it would go bam, bam, bam. You know, that's what you're supposed to do.
Gotcha. Is there any on here, Aaron, that looks? Was there ever a sought after He-Man vehicle or accessory or something like that, other than Castle Grayskull? That's got to be like the most popular, right?
Yeah, for me, it was just pretty much Stridor and Stalker and the Battle Cat. And I didn't really dig the vehicles that came with He-Man, but I mean, when your base is a skull and the villain's place is a giant snake head, I mean, there's not too many places you can go from there.
Yeah,
it's pretty awesome because you could fling it across the kitchen and it would just hit the wall and go everywhere. I mean, it would hurt Mom's foot.
Yeah,
it was
incredible.
I can remember Christmas playing with this thing with my He-Mans, and also bringing in the Secret Wars figures and the Crystar figures.
Yep.
The old Crystar figures and the Riders of the Sticks, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
I was not. I was a weird kid. I wouldn't do crossovers.
You wouldn't do what?
No,
not at all. Not even G.I. Joe Transformers.
No.
Oh, come on.
No, I wouldn't, because G.I. Joe's guns wouldn't hurt the Transformers. They'd just step on them. That was my thought.
We got size differences.
Yeah, size differences.
Nothing's to scale.
Yeah.
You nerd.
You know what? Yeah. When you transform them into, I mean, okay, so you had some continuity issues with Transformers, size issues and stuff like that. You know, you transform Optimus Prime into his truck version. You know, there's no G.I. Joes fitting in that. G.I. Joe would just flip it over. So, and then you would transform Megatron into the pistol. Ain't no G.I. Joe holding that.
I won't argue with you about such things, because that would really make me look like an uber nerd.
Well, bring it on, son.
No, I don't want to.
Oh, there we go.
You know what? Get that page off there.
Return Jedi.
I'm done, Ronnie. You win. I submit.
Did that say Wheel Warriors?
Yeah.
I think they're on the next page.
I used to have those too. Those were awesome.
Yep.
You could change the parts on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, mask down at the bottom.
I bet a lot of that stuff. I mean, we're talking 85 parts like that. It's probably hard to find stuff complete.
Yeah.
I used to get the Wheel Warriors when I was little at Big Lots.
There's some mask for you.
Oh yeah. I can just hear the theme song right now.
So, all right, guys,
nostalgia, a lot of fun.
Nostalgia. This has been a blast. This couldn't have gone any better, because whatever format we had or whatever, when you open up this wish book, it goes right out the window, because you're looking at all this stuff, and then you have experts like Aaron and Justin who know. I mean, you freaking just pulled glue out of the air, man, and so that made it even better. Guys, I appreciate you so much, and Aaron, I thank you so much for coming on. It's been
no problem.
It's been such a blast, and thank you for giving us your knowledge on all of this stuff. Once again, I bow to it, because it's just so amazing. But I do want you to, one more time, I want you to tell us all the specifics on your Facebook page, about everything. Just shill the heck out of it.
It's called Dave's All American Toys and Comics, and I know that name's kind of oddball, but I had over 16,000 comics at one time, and I had a collection that's way bigger than the one I have now. I was going to open a toy store, and that's what I was going to name it, because when my dad died, that's just the name I'd come up with. But then I sold everything, just needed money, so everything I have now is actually my second collection. But I was doing shows, and Tricon wanted me to have something on the internet about what I might be bringing. So I made the website, just kind of trying to show off what I'd be bringing. And it just grew into kind of a network of just a bunch of really good guys that have helped each other get parts, get pieces, identify things. And it's just really it's really blossomed from there. I mean, I have guys now that I've met through the internet and through that website. I have a guy in California that just takes care of me. He's the guy that's getting me my Micronauts. I have a guy in Michigan who he hooks me up with all kinds of stuff. People in Virginia Beach, Florida, Kentucky. I got a guy in Pittsburgh. And it's just, getting to know people, and then locally just giving people that are into the hobby network of people that are just looking out for them instead of trying to make a buck on everybody.
Right.
And that's why I try to keep the for sale for trade stuff to the private messages.
Very cool. Very cool. It's because, when it comes down to this, it's a network. It's not about making a buck. It's about helping everybody out. And it's a more of a friendship, thing than it is. Yeah.
Collecting, whether it's guns or comics or car parts or toys, anything, ball cards, anything I've collected over the years. I collect too many things. I think it's a problem. But it really comes down to relationships and people skills. People look out for me and look for things for me because, I'm going to turn around and give it to someone else half the time. I got a guy in Charleston named David Martin, and that guy would give you this shirt off his back if you wanted it or needed it for your collection.
That's awesome.
I've traded with him before.
Hatfield, Tony Workman, I was trying to help, talk to him when he first opened his shop, and he's actually the reason I got back into collecting toys. He has a wonderful shop.
What's his shop called?
Classic Plastic Toy Stores. It's on Market Street in downtown Parkersburg.
There you go. Classic Plastics. I hear a lot about that from all these guys. Justin from the Figure Forecast. Just everywhere, really.
And it's just been a great hobby for me because, especially in the winter, when I get stuck in the house, man, I hate the short days. It gives me something to focus on. I mean, I don't know. After all the football and all the brain damage, I get depressed, and this is a wonderful outlet because I'm usually helping people. I'm building something. I'm making something.
Amazing.
It really has been. I mean, the places it's taken me in the last 5-6 years. I've made relationships with some of the guys in Walking Dead, Kane Hodder. I mean, it's just been wonderful.
That's amazing.
It's all because I like toys, and everyone I run into, there's a story or there's something they're looking for. I mean, it's been great.
That's awesome, man. That's fantastic here, and I know I speak for everybody else when I say that you're welcome back anytime you want, whether it's comic books, toys, movies, whatever we're talking about at the time. If you're interested, you're more than welcome back, and we'd love to have you.
Well, I appreciate it, guys. Thank you. I got to get to bed because
the
kids will be rolling in here bright and early, and
we'll be catching you at the next show.
I'm not going to do any shows for a while. I'm sure I'll be there buying, but I've donated a lot of the extra toys I had to some charity stuff. I've given a lot to Jeremy Hatfield to start up his shop in Milton.
Is that what's his shop called?
Full Metal Plastic.
Full Metal Plastic. Mm.
Yeah. But guys, like I said, I really appreciate the opportunity to talk about this wonderful hobby.
Dude,
I have to get to sleep.
I hear you, brother. We appreciate you, and as I said before, you're more than welcome back on anytime you want. So you have a wonderful evening. Merry Christmas to you.
Hey, Merry Christmas to you too.
Have a good one, man.
Hey, we'll see you guys. Thank you.
Later.
Thank you.
Yep.
See you, Aaron.
Bye.
So, guys, I appreciate you. Justin, I appreciate you. Jesse, you guys, Justin, tell us where we can find you, man.
Man, I'm everywhere.
Everywhere.
Everywhere, man. I'm everywhere.
You can catch me on Steam and PlayStation Network under Spectre 13. You can catch me under Arctic Lightning on Xbox Live. Pretty much Spectre 13 on Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, you name it. I'm there. I'm pretty much infected the whole entire internet.
That's awesome.
And you can always just find me under just my regular name on Facebook. So just look for that approving Deadpool pic, and you'll find me if I want to be found.
Very nice, very nice. Jesse, what's going? Do what, Justin?
I stay invisible, man.
He is the invisible man.
He is everywhere and nowhere at once. Jesse, tell me what's going on with you, man.
Buddy, we are in the midst. It's Monday.
It is.
The most recent episode of Source Material has dropped.
Yes, it has.
It is on the Rattleitch Broadcasting Network, and you two were a part of that podcast, along with our good buddy Mark Rattleitch, the patriarch of the Rattleitch Broadcasting Network. And what we decided to do was we jumped into a 2000. Yeah, buddy. It was this first episode.
It was a rough draft.
Indeed, it was.
It was a dumpster fire draft.
1974, George Lucas came up with his first script for Star Wars, and in 2013, Dark Horse adapted it into comic book form. So what we did on Source Material was we took a good look at I think it's 6 issues. It's either 6 or 8. I can't remember. Was it 8? Okay.
Yeah, 8 issues.
8 issues of the Star Wars. And it was interesting. And so what we've done this week, we're doing 3 episodes. I've took that one long YouTube video that me and you and Mark and you guys and Mark did, and I've got it in 3 parts. First part is Ronnie versus Mark. The machete order comes up thanks to Justin Thomas, and then the next thing you know,
the troublemaker.
Everybody, you guys, all of a sudden opinions are formed. But no, it was
all hell breaks loose. Let's just put it that way.
It was. You guys did a great job. You had a great civil conversation. We had some.
Yeah.
So we pretty much discussed our love of Star Wars in this first episode.
I thought the machetes were going to be really brought out.
Oh yeah, no kidding. Thank goodness we're on the internet. Then part 2 is going to drop Thursday, which is going to be, I think, issues 1 through 4, maybe 1 through 6. I can't remember, but I know that Thursday is going to be the second part of this episode, and then part 3 is going to drop Friday. So we're actually filling in some slots this week for some content, half-hour, easy-to-digest shows. Check it out, folks. If you enjoy Star Wars, we're celebrating the release of Rogue One. I don't know if anybody heard about that, but I think it dropped in Thursday, and like everybody went and saw it. So if you like Star Wars, check out the original one that started it all, the Star Wars. You can find me at Stiznarkey on Twitter. Go give that Rattleitch Broadcasting Network Facebook page a like to stay up on top of all the great podcasts that we have to offer. Also, Source Material, you can find us on Twitter at SourceMacCast. And we're coming up on close to 100 episodes. I mean, it's really close to episode 100. So I think this is episode 95. And by the time the Star Wars stuff ends, it'll be episode 97. We're going to be 3 away. You can also catch me on the Metal Hammer of Doom. I've got plugs that go on for days, folks. Metal Hammer of Doom. We did our final album, which was just a crap album. Oh gosh, it was horrible. It was something to do with Superjoint Ritual, who is now known as Superjoint, headed by the old lead singer of Pantera, which it just wasn't a good album. But hey, you want to go to the album before that, where me and Mark talked Oakley Dokley, Howdly Doodly, which was one of the it's probably one of the funnest metal albums we've talked about this year. We had a lot of fun. We went from Metallica and then to Oakley Dokley. So we had a good time. Anyway, and we're coming up on our have a Christmas special, Metal Hammer of Doom, and then a year-end special where we celebrate all the fun stuff that the Metal Hammer of Doom did this year, plus talk about some songs that we really didn't have the chance to play. But anyway, check it out, folks. We're on there. The Screaming Boy podcast just dropped on Saturday. So this past Saturday, this most recent episode you guys did. That's it, man. I'm done. I'm ready to go to bed too.
I hear you, brother. You can find us right here on YouTube. You can find us on iTunes, Stitcher, TuneIn, and the Radulation Broadcasting Network. You can find us on any social media, really. I mean, Facebook, just look for Screaming Boy Podcast. Twitter, Screaming Boy PR. Instagram, Screaming Boy Podcast. We are all over the place. You go to wow, English.
You
much,
can do
Ronnie?
it today, and you
You do it. You can go to www.screamingboy.com, and we're having a problem loading things up on our page. So be patient with us.
These guys
we'll
are
have it fixed soon. We're everywhere, pal.
Yeah, I run into them all the time.
Yeah. So please reach out to us. We want to hear from you. info@screamingboy.com. We would love to hear anything you have to say. So please go on any one of these places, click the 5 stars, leave us a comment, hit that subscribe button. And for Jesse, for Justin, and for Aaron, I am Ronnie. We're out.